selling through Loom type videos with a compelling offer. And of course, if you sell that way, it's easier to retain in that way. Talk to me about the monthly check-ins or the ongoing check-ins with the client once they are a client.
So yeah, obviously that's a huge point. And I have a kind of a philosophy I call the accordion. So if you look at kind of like a timeline, like when accordions squish together, that's like a bunch of communications really close. And when it's stretched out, those are like far apart. And I think people treat this like if I just check in every 30 days periodically, that's good enough. And if you want to have an average agency, do that. And you'll get average results. And what I've learned is that in the beginning, especially when the trust is at the lowest, that's when you want the accordion to be really like almost over communicate at that point. Like I'd say in the first 7 days, you're going to hear from our agency every single day for those 7 days. And then after the next 2 weeks, we kind of stagger it. And a lot of it is just firstly, like saying thank you and appreciating them, then letting them know what's happening, and then letting them know what's going on. And I like to use a thing I call it the drive-by update. So I do this a lot with my clients. Hey, little drive-by update, nothing you need to do, but just so you know, blank. And just a sentence or two. Hey, I know you wanted it to be updated for your branding and colors. Just so you know, that's going to happen. I got my VA on it. Give me till Friday. And the more and more you do those, so how we structure our stuff is our communication is very front end heavy. It's not until we're probably at least, I would say, 8 months into the relationship that suddenly like every 30 days is okay. But you know, that's kind of like how we've got to structure this. And it really is just you're telling clients you appreciate them, you're doing some extra thing for them, or you're just letting them know where you're at in building the house without them asking, hey, we put up your foundation today. How cool is that? And I also think it's important to admit mistakes preemptively, because I think that's a real trust builder. Like, you know, we had a guy the other day, like we have an ad template on Facebook ads, and he forgot to, it says like in brackets, insert state here in our template, and he forgot to change the state. So we ran an ad on Facebook and spent like 50 or $100 that said insert state here. But, you know, if you're a typical agency, you try and hide behind that. But I just like, hey, client, I'm really, really sorry I goofed up. I spent 50 or $100. But that builds so much trust on the grand scale when you say, like, I did something stupid, or we screwed up, or this took longer, and you admit your mistakes, because now they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know. That's basically our communication in a nutshell. Is either we're doing something extra for you, we're thanking you, or we're telling you what's going on. And I just make it very, very front end heavy to, like, you know, to build those relationships, because once they trust you and they know they're in good hands, I don't think you need to, like, you know, I've had a client, for example, who was running the same ads for 4 years, and so, like, you know, they were telling me that the report is basically like, yep, it's still working, cool, well, talk to you next month. You can do that after 4 years when things are working and when they're running, but on day 4, like, very much the opposite. So that's just how we do it, is squeeze the accordion together in the beginning, stretch it out once you've established the trust, and you've got, like, you know, the operation running and they're happy with it.